Hello and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Kim and I love yarn. As you can probably guess from around me, and if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the things that I made for Hooker versus Hooker. If you did not catch that live episode last night, we're going to talk about the patterns that I were inspired by, I guess, and the ones that I made up. And we're going to be looking at my impkin, as well as talking about the things that I will be working on for the month of April. So I hope you sit back, relax, and craft away as I ramble on about yarn. So yeah, yesterday was the Hooker versus Hooker reveal live show, and that is where we get in front of the live audience and we show what we spend the month making, and then the audience gets to vote. And I was going against an Alaskan crafter, Jan, Mad Mimi Farming, Lala, and Jamie from Jamie Murray Crafts. And Jamie was she has a channel, but when she signed up, she didn't have videos. And now I think she has some videos, but she was kind of the subscriber and I was the contending channel. And it was a lot of fun. If you missed that, I'm going to link that down below. And I've talked about it a lot, so I'm not going to go into all the spiel about it. But I am going to show you what I made in case you did not catch the live show. And in case you're wondering, because I really liked what I made. Go ahead and tell you, spoiler alert, I did not win. Jamie did. Jamie made this bowl of noodles. I think it was like a Mongolian bowl, maybe. I don't know. It was super cute. She had chopsticks and she was the winner chicken dinner. But I, when this challenge was presented to me, knew that I wanted a bowl of the sky. I am very much a early bird person. I love getting up when the sun rises, but I also really love the night sky. I love the stars. And being in the South, there is nothing better than being outside with all the stars and the moon and seeing all the lightning bugs everywhere. We do have a lot of them on our land, and that is just that's probably the only thing about summer that I actually like. I pretty much hate summer. Sorry, summer lovers. I don't love it. But I do love that aspect of it. So when we were told we had to make a bowl of things, I knew it had to do something with sun, moon, and stars. That was going to be my three things. And that is what I did. So we had to use 5 colors. And I knew I wanted to make this sun. So we'll talk about the sun first, because I think it's probably the cutest thing that I made. And so this is my sun. It is super adorable. I intentionally made its head a little sideways to give it some character, but I think it makes her perfect. I love how her shoes turned out with the little Mary Jane straps. I've talked about my love of Mary Janes numerous times before. I don't know why I love them, but I do. And I love her little body style with her little belly. You can kind of see it there. And so for this, I come across this one pattern on Ravelry. It is called Son of 18 by Annika Nilsson, but it is only in Swedish, and I don't speak Swedish. But she had kind of this face thing going on and these curly cues. Mine is definitely a little different, and I think that's fine. I don't really know how she made hers, because again, I can't read Swedish, so I just kind of used the head of mine. She didn't really, all it was a head on hers, and it's a free pattern, and I'll link it down below. But I used that for the head of mine as far as a reference. I am going to write this up in the moon as a pattern tutorial on my channel, just because I was asked by so many people, and I do want to make some more of them, and I think it would be fun. So I'm going to do that. But I made my head, and then I knew from the beginning that it had to have a body. I wanted initially to have the sun and the moon, and then have a baby star, and that was going to be like their kid. But I ran out of my yellow, and you can only use the 5 colors. You cannot use any other shade of the yellow. And I didn't want to go spend any money. So instead I made granny stars, which did not have the same effect. And I kind of really wish I had made the star baby, because I think it would have been just the kiss of awesomeness, if that's a thing. But for the bodies, this is one of my body styles that I love to make when I make stuffies, and it is my own creation. It is completely a no sewing body, and so when I make the tutorial I'll go over that. But it forms to the head, as you can see right there, and then she does have 2 arms, obviously. I mean, I guess she could have more, but that would be weird. But I do love the sun rays coming off of her, and this could be adapted to be a flower, I guess, if you want to change the colors up. But I love how she turned out. So she was made using Red Heart. Yellow is With Love Daffodil. The orange is With Love Mango. And I did the same orange as far as her shoes. And then he is made using the same daffodil yellow Red Heart With Love. But for his shoes, I used Bluebell. And this is actually an I Love This Yarn colorway. The way that I do my bodies, it automatically puts that little detail into the boot, because his is more boots and hers are more Mary Jane's, because I wanted him to be a him. And his body's a little bit different. I kind of wanted him to be like a little, like he's kind of leaning over. So one side of his body is a little bit taller than the other to kind of give him that little lean. But I think it's cute that way. I liked how it turned out anyways. And his head is actually made separately, but you don't have to sew them on. They're actually put together. So yeah. I can't wait to make the tutorial for you guys. I can't promise that it's going to be done like immediately because life, but I promise you that I will get it out to you, because I'm really proud of them. Like, really proud of them. I am not as strong of a crocheter, I feel like, than I am as a knitter. But I think these turned out pretty cute. Considering I didn't really have a pattern. I just kind of winged it. And so I was pretty proud of myself. I'm happy with my second place. The Crochet Granny Square Stars. Granny Square Stars, I guess that's how you say that. I used a pattern for this, and this is called Granny Stars by Zelena Oliver. It is a free pattern online. I will link it down below as well. I originally started out with these, but if you notice, the first one that I did, which is this one, I didn't close the picot here. I just kind of like did 3 chain stitches and then went down, but it was supposed to be a picot. So when I redid it, I made sure to correct that, like you can see right here. And this red is the holly berry. This orange is mango. This green is Emrex. I love this yarn from Hobby Lobby. And then the yellow is the daffodil. And then I kind of realized I was not going to have enough yellow. So I did go ahead and use all of it in the center of these 4. So this one starts off at daffodil and then goes to mango, holly berry, and then the bluebell. And since I originally missed doing that first picot there, and then I caught it on the second, just to make it balance, I did that to all of them. So like the first one, I did not complete the picot there, but on this one, I did. Same way with this one with the yellow center. I did not do it on that one, but on the other one I did. And that way they just kind of have balance. But this is the daffodil, Emrex, bluebell, and then holly berry. And then the last set of stars I did starts off with a holly berry, goes to bluebell, goes to emerex, and then to mango. There it goes. I don't know what I'm going to do with these yet. My initial plan was to maybe starch them so they stay nice and crisp and then hang them somewhere in here. I'm not sure yet. And then I need to talk to you about my basket. So the last part, or actually the main part of this make along, was it had to have a bowl that these things had to fit in. And I knew that I wanted my bowl to be functional in another aspect. So some type of storage bowl. So I knew I needed it to make it big. And I was trying to use as much yardage as possible because I am trying to really work through my stash. And so I knew that I was going to hold the yarn double for this. And that is what I did. These are worsted weight yarns that I'm using. And for the bowl, I did hold it double. I used a in hook and I did a spike stitch. I think that's what it's called. But I did mine in a kind of a great fade form, and then I did mine in the Roy G. Biv color sequence. But I had a lot of this bluebell, and so I wanted the whole base of it to be that. So it's kind of like the Roy G. Biv upside down. And I really wanted this red to be on top because I just love this color red. It's very, very pretty. And so I wanted to be able to like see it on top. So I started with the bluebell, and then I did a couple of rows of it. And then I held one strand of the bluebell with one strand of the emerex, and I went around, and then I held two strands of the emerex twice, and then I held one strand of the emerex and one strand of the daffodil, the yellow, went around. Then because I didn't have a lot of it, I did a strand of the yellow and a strand of the orange, which is a mango. And then I went around, and then I did with two strands of mango, and then I did one mango and one of the red hollyberry, one round of solid hollyberry, and then I did single crochet around to kind of give it an edge. And I really like how it turned out. I really like how it kind of morphs into each other. And so the purpose of this for me, because I definitely want it to be a container, was I thought it'd be really cool to have like a crocheted cat bowl bed. So I put this down in our bedroom, and immediately our cat Dexter jumped in it. He loves it. He is huge, but he basically made his little self fit in there, which was cracking me up. So this is definitely going to be something that stays out here, that when the cats come out, they can hang out on the floor and have a little comfy bed to lay. All with the bowl and the stars, the moon guy, and the sun girl, I used about 778. Yes, 778 yards of yarn out of my stash. And that makes me so happy. So happy. But I will be writing up a tutorial for these that you can find on my channel later on. And then I will put a community post up when I get those completed. And I promise you I will work on those when I can. So moving on to my next completed item, which is my impkin. So for my impkin, I made the short about it and I talked about it with all you guys. I did decide to go down a eyeball size on the larger eyeball and then go up an eyeball size for the smaller eyeball. And I used the same size and came up with this guy with these eyes, and I think that they are adorable. I really like how this turned out. I love how the under the mushroom, I did sew my hat on just because I wanted it to sew on. And I also made it, again, I have something about making my stuffies with like these different heads, like facing different directions. I don't like having a head that just faces straight out for whatever reason. I think it gives more character if they're just kind of like in a mood. So that's kind of what's happening with this guy. He's just kind of like in a mood. and I think that makes him super, super cute. He lives now over beside my main computer out here, and he just kind of sits down and this little bitty tray above it and is constantly judging me. I just love it. I really love it. I cannot wait to make some more of these. This is made out of 100% cotton yarn. This brown is called Wool and the Gang Shiny Happy Cotton. I used about 49.6 yards of it. And then the pink rose is actually some loops and thread Capri Eco cotton that I picked up at Michael's for $1. And I used 33.2 yards for it. For him, I made him with a G hook, which is a 4mm. For my stars, I also used a G hook, which is a 4mm, which is typically my go-to when I use worsted weight yarns and making stuffies. But I just love it so much. Love it so much. This is how he kind of sits over there judging me. I like to have his little arms down, like they're kind of propped on his knees. Super, super in love with those projects. So I did not do enough on my shawl from the Gina, the Knitting Turnpike, and Judy's crochet creations to talk about or to show you. I think I knit like one row on that, so I'm not even going to get that out. It's not going to. But I did start on some baby booties, and I did pull a whip to work on. A like old whip. And that is my Annie the Deer. So my goal for this weekend is to get this completed. I love this thing. I think it's going to be super adorable. I really just need to crochet its other arm and then put it to its little finishing pieces on it. And then it's done. So I really want to focus on that this weekend and get that completely done and off of my whip. And then hopefully I have a chance to next weekend to record and show you that finished object. But I have been working on slippers. Not slippers, booties. I don't know where I got slippers from. So I did start my Keeks booties, and if you caught my live that I did yesterday, I did show one of them. This is the one that I showed. So I'm making it out of this. This is the Lion brand Lemon Moraine. It is a DK weight yarn. This is a really nice yarn. It's a 100% acrylic. It comes in 394 yards per 100 grams. And this is left over from making this blanket. This is the all squared up blanket. It was in a little pamphlet put out by Leisure Arts called Ice Cream Baby Afghans. And it's really making some really cute baby booties because of the gentle color change that it has. But I did talk about this in the live. I did mess up the beginning of this. I don't know what I was doing. I think I like went on autopilot and just zoomed off into my own little land. But you cast on a Turkish cast on, and I'm going to be making a video this week, I promise. I already have plans to do it on how to do that and how to start these. And then as I go through this, I'll take pictures. It is a free pattern. And even though it's a free pattern, I can't make a full tutorial because that would be a violation of copyright. So what I'm going to do is link the pattern down below and then just talk about the different sections to get you started on it. And then you have to refer to the pattern for stitch count and complete details. And that way I'm not breaking copyright at all because I am not a violator. But I love the little rolled cuff on this, and because it utilizes like a little bit of stockinette here on the cuff and a little bit of garter, it naturally rolls, and I just think it's the most adorable little thing. Look how cute that is. But it should not have the flat stockinette section, which is what that's called right there. When all the stitches are flat, that is called your stockinette. It shouldn't be there. That should be all garter. And that is where I made there. So I'm making the second one just like this one, so it's matching. But then going forward, and when I make the tutorial video, I'm going to do it the right way. I'm going to pay attention this time. And as you can see here, I've kind of copied that and made it a purposeful modification. that's going to be on this one pair. But these are going to be for my donation drive that I'm doing. And if you're interested in making baby booties and sending them to me, you can reach out to me down in the description of this video. There's this whole contact section. You can contact me through that. And I'm also going to link the original video where I talk about some of these patterns. And then I will be having a post go up this week. It may be before this video even goes out, so check my community tab. If it is, I will go ahead and link that as well in the video description, and I'm going to add more free patterns on there for you guys to entice you to make some baby booties and send them to me so I can donate them. And I would greatly appreciate it. So for the next pair, I'm going to be using this. This is Baby Bee. I love this Baby Bee baby yarn. This is the Sweet Delight, and this is the colorway Berry Cute. But it's a really soft acrylic yarn. I've used this in, I think, 2 baby sweaters that I have knit up for baby shower gifts. It washes well, and it's a lightweight, but it has a nice feel to it. It's definitely soft, and it washes up even softer. And it comes in a really great variety of colors. It's a 3-weight yarn. It is 60% acrylic and 40% polyamide. It comes in 4 ounces and 377 yards. And I just so happened to, I think, yeah, got this on clearance for $3.17. When I bought this one, it retailed for $5.29. This may be one of the really old ones that I have, though. It may be even more expensive than that now. I can't remember. I haven't bought it in a while because I only tend to buy it when it's on clearance. But if I do see it on clearance at Hobby Lobby, I will buy these because I can get a whole sweater out of one of these. And they're great for making baby hats and other things and piecing the colors together. So I like to have it on hand for baby shower gifts. Although you will find knots because, as you can see, there's a knot right there. But for $3, it's okay. Knots do not bother me at all. I don't care. I think it was a good deal, so I got it. And that's really the only projects I'm going to be focusing on this month, is working on those baby booties, getting that tutorial out for that Keeks booty because I had a question about it, and kind of working on the tutorial for my sun and moon and writing that pattern up, and then working on my whip. Once I get Friendly the deer done, I will be looking at my project page on Ravelry and picking another whip to focus on. I really would like to get these whips done. The only way I'm going to do that is to force myself to work on them. There is one called Ursula Vibes. Let's talk about the Ursula sweater. This has been in this whip bag since 2019. I made a swatch. The reason I swatched is because the yarn that I'm using for this is not the same weight yarn that the pattern calls for. I did start this though. I really just need to try it on, but I think it's going to be too wide. And honestly, it's been so long. I don't know. I really just need to try it. I need to throw it on some waist yarn and try it on. Because I wanted it to be kind of this V-neck, but I think my V-neck's going to be too big. I could possibly pick up the stitches and then do something there. But my goal for this was to have something that's just kind of more crop sweaterish with 3/4 sleeves to wear over some of my one-piece, I started to say one-piece dress, but a dress is one piece. My like maxi style kind of dresses, they're just kind of like a big A in fabric basically, and they're long, but that's my favorite style dress. And I have a bunch that are solid colors, so I wanted to make this to kind of throw on over that, because sometimes they're short sleeve and I get cool really easily because of my thyroid issues. And so I want something that's easy to throw on and off. And so that's kind of where I was going with this. It's really pretty. It has this kind of mock, this cable-y thing going down the back. There is my monster book. It's a Harry Potter. It's from Simply Serving, Look how cute that is. I love her stitch markers. But yeah, and I'd already separated for the sleeves. Maybe I'll just try this on and maybe I will pick this back up if it's not too big. It looks pretty big though. I may need to like rip back and then go down a needle size because I'm using, this is a size 10. And I think that's the problem. I don't use big needle or hook sizes very often. Like it's very, very rare. So when I use them, they just feel so awkward. I tend to knit or crochet looser, which is really not what I need to be doing. And it's just a hot mess. This yarn though is fabulous. This is Barocco Vibe. I think it's discontinued, but it's a 45% organic cotton and 45% organic wool and 10% nylon. It's 150 yards per 50 grams. I think I have 11 of these. I really like this yarn. And I love this colorway. This is the color 1514 is all it says. I don't know. But here's my swatch. And I washed it and dried it as if I would the project. But it's very loose gauge and I don't really like that. So I don't know. Maybe I'll try this on and we'll see. We'll see what's going on there with that. Because I don't know. Because at this point, I'm just knitting the body. And so it's just straight knitting. I need to make a decision. 5 seconds ago, I was determined that I was not going to make this. And now I'm just like, it's a possibility. It's a possibility. So these bags are actually at Amazon Fine. You've probably seen them in the background of some of my videos. I have 2 of them up there that have a yarn in them that I plan on making a blanket out of. But these, I will link these down below. They are a great plastic bag. They're not completely sealed though. So there is like a gap right here and on this end. This snap right here is for, you can actually snap the zipper pull to it. But I stick one of these rings to this end ring right here. And that way I can hang it on my tree or you can hang it up somewhere. But they're really nice. They're clear plastic. If you have cats though, just be aware that your cat is going to find this and chew on it. Dexter, I had to hide these. That's why they're out here now, because he would find them. And several of them have like his little teeth marks that will forever be in them. That's that. So I'm going to work on some booties, make the booty tutorial somewhat, recipe video, work on the sun and the moon for you guys, and finish the dare and try to decide more decisively if this is going to be a frog it or a finish it. And then I will check back with you when those things are somewhat completed. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you have a wonderful week. Let me know down below what you're working on and what your plans are this week. Stay crafty and know that you are loved. Bye.